Greetings everyone and welcome to this game commentary video with me, Kemzit. Today we shall be chattering about the Settlers closed beta. Bear in mind that we all have our own opinions and thoughts, so feel free to drop them in this video, its comments box below, or join my Discord server so we can have a chit chat about it. But I'm gonna definitely share my own one with this video, so feel free to lean back, lay down, grab something to eat and drink, and give me some of your minutes as an attention, because I really want to speak about this game, as I did enjoy it, but there's definitely some points to give out as well. For example, the tutorial, I really find that each tutorial is too short and it's not very informative, especially in the basics. For example, why have they not really explained us how the engineers works? Because they have definitely a lot of different functionalities. For example, that they can survey the land for minerals, or that they can expand the territory, because that's the only quick and efficient way to expand it, as building towers or other buildings close to the borders doesn't expand too much of your territory, and that's really saddening to see. But that's how actually it does or has been working within the Settlers 2, 3 and 4, and many of those old players will definitely say like, hey, okay, we have to build those towers near there, but they're fucking expensive. We build it and it doesn't expand too much, and you're like, ah, shit. But when you look at your engineer, oh, that's how it works. But again, I'm sure that every sensible player, whenever they get into a game, they will definitely play a tutorial to learn how the game is, and I really find it important that they inform you about the within the basics how those engineers works, because they're a nice addition and truly nice to have to move around and make them like, hey, you have to prioritize this building, or you can prioritize expanding the borders or surveying land, I mean. But the only thing that is annoying, however, is when you lose them all, you'll have a big ass problem. But on the other hand, you do get a nice sum of them, so losing a few is not a big issue. Sure, the productivity and all that is a bit at stake, but hey, this is how you have to be careful then, and again, play wisely, as I always say. But albeit tactical, in the end it's a strategy game, so it's again a not big issue. Some people make an issue that it's like this, but I think it's sensible. You just have to be careful. Let's go with combat. I would have definitely say that they have to explain us what those tower and bastion have different things to do, apart from both of them have two different abilities, which again, when I was playing the combat tutorial, I did not really understand what was happening, because when my guys were just entering and attacking that thing, especially my siege weapons, they were literally dead due to that fire with the time damage going on. So it's some kind of attrition damage ability, blah blah blah. But it would have been really nicer if they would have informed us about this, and that the other tower can basically heal your troops or even buildings. And it would also be nice if they could have explained that there's a scarecrow within the game which can build to taunt enemy troops into them and make them focus there until it's destroyed, and definitely takes some time, so be careful with that, because if enemy has some towers or troops nearby, you'll definitely lose your army, because that's what I have experienced sadly, and even lost the game, which I sadly didn't record because I forgot to press the record button. Sorry guys, but I'm definitely not ashamed to show gameplay of my losses either, but it's just annoying that I even pressed it, because I was doing great. I really did, but again, as I said, my ally was not really doing much because he didn't understand how the engineers work, and I, for a few moments, didn't understand it too until I played the game more and understood it. But that's why I'm telling the developers definitely need to implant some more informative elements within both these tutorials as well, especially in the productions as well. For example, it would be really fun if they would have informed us, hey dudes, those foods, for example, the fish, bread and meats, can be given to any producers or food, let's say woodcutters and stone miners, or even smelters or blacksmiths can be inspired, or let's say productivity increase, so they will have a double outcome of the resources you're creating or even gathering. So that's a nice addition they can do. Maybe they will do it in advance. I have no idea, but we will have to see to it. Maybe they will do it in exploration. I don't know. We'll have to see. But again, this is definitely to look into and implant, and I hope that they can see this. But it's definitely really important about this. Further on, I am excited to see what they will do with the loadout. I guess it's something with the profile to do. The shop is also definitely something I'm looking forward to. Is it like gonna be entirely about a real money exchange for some cosmetics, or is it something you can purchase stuff while you're playing through and in-game money? I don't know, we'll see. The campaign is also definitely something I'm looking forward to. This onslaught mode is something new. I guess it's some kind of a deathmatch kind of match. I'm looking definitely forward for that too. We know what casual is. It's basically comp stomp. We know what PvP is, basically player versus player. We've enjoyed playing 1 versus 1 matches, 2 versus 2 matches. Sadly not 4 versus 4, but it's definitely something I'm also excited to play through and see how it goes. The maps were nice in my opinion, and it wasn't too much open. Certainly there was quite a lot of enclosure within your bases, so it was not easy for the enemy to get into your base as well. But definitely the maps were beautiful and easy to play. Not much bugs, crashes or so that I have met through, but on the other hand, it's definitely playable for sure. It will be really nice, however, if they could have granted us some invite button for our friends, or a chat functionality. Maybe they will do that in the future and they just didn't implant it within the closed beta. Who knows? On the other hand, there's gonna be 3 factions or races or whatever you want to call them: the Allari, Maru, and Yon. I definitely want to say that the Allari might needs to be less OP, because if I look at what kind of perks they have, or unique abilities, or whatever we can call them, they're quite strong. Because if you're gonna make the reduction cost for farms, windmills, bakeries, and residences, especially the residence one, then it's definitely gonna be overpowered, and they definitely need a very less of wood and stone. Sure, it can compensate a little bit on the smaller but cheap residences, but I still think the Allari will be able to handle quite a lot of overpoweredness over here. Definitely, especially their buildings can take more damage, and the crossbow units getting some extra damage is also nice, but quite strong. But we can definitely see that the Maru have some goodness too. For example, the Guardians will have some spears which can reach long, and also some nice shields. The Bastions cost less. I would say add Tower to this too, so they can be definitely a nice tower kind of faction. The Maru, by the way, definitely give me some kind of the Mao kind of how should I say, vibe, or Hawaii people, like natives. The Allari, as I mentioned before, some kind of Europeans. But definitely the traders trade perk basically gives less cost for harbors, gold mines, and mint cost. It's not too much, but it's still a nice perk. But as I mentioned, I still think that the Allari should have some different kind of perk, and that the residents shouldn't be included in food, because I still find it quite overpowering. But that's my opinion. Nonetheless, this shall be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give a like button and subscribe to my channel if you're new and wish to support it. I do recommend something recording together that's possible as well. Just write down comments box below, or join my Discord server so we can have a chit chat about it. Till then, we shall see each other laters.